uppercut, try to hit me in the gut, thinking that I won't react. You whispering my name, thinking I won't be the same. Turn fiction into fact. See what you didn't know, bruises that I'll never show, slipping on your every jab. So tighten up your fist, step into the ring with this. I hope your mama's got your back. First round, you thought you would've knocked me down. Fifth round, bleeding out the side of your mouth. Final round, pulling the sound of my name in the crowd. You did a bust. Oh, 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 oh. You did a bust. Oh, 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 oh. Just 'cause I took a break, you're making a huge mistake, thinking you can take the throne. Look at you trembling, step into the lion's den. Bet you wish you stayed at home. Begging for mercy underneath your breath when I ain't even sweating yet. My legend's written in the stone, yeah. You're crying, Adrian, defeat is now your only friend. Even your mama's gotta know. First round, you thought you would've knocked me down. Fifth round, bleeding out the side of your mouth. Final round, pulling the sound of my name in the crowd. You did a bust. Oh, 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 oh. You did a bust. Oh, 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 oh. First round, fifth round, final round. Oh, 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 yeah. First round, fifth round, final round. No, 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 no. First round, you thought you would've knocked me down. Fifth round, bleeding out the side of your mouth. Final round, holding the sound of my name in the crowd. You did a bust. Oh, 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 oh. You did a bust. Oh, 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 throw your uppercut, try to hit me in the gut, thinking that I won't react. You whispering my name, thinking I won't be the same. Turn fiction into fact.
Photo of you in my mind, on the table under lights. There's no one here but you and I. This neon town is yours and mine. And I said, hey, Caruso, stayed up
Hello, everyone. My name is Nick Soutter, and welcome to the after show. So, funny story. We didn't have a guest. Well, we had Obama, right? Obama was scheduled to be our guest of the Scouts Honor, and got talking to somebody else who was just sort of making some rounds in the community. We saw him, and I said, "Hey, would you be willing to come on tonight? Because we don't have a guest. I mean, we have a great guest, you know, but you're more important." So, and he completely bought the bullshit. I mean, the store. He believed it for whatever reason, and so he agreed to show up. So tonight, our guest on After Dark is Ethan Prolib. Ethan, how are you?
Listen, I'm sorry Obama couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Well, I am doing well. ACAB to you and ACAB to everybody out in chat. And, did you know that last year a man was released after serving 31 years of a 90-year sentence for marijuana? But I'm really glad Derek Chauvin got 22 and a half for murdering somebody, but that's good. Hi, everybody.
Out of the gate. We're yeah. All right. And I'm aware there is some lag issues. I don't honestly. It's pretty significant from what I can tell. So, I got one shot at and it's not I'm getting it. You know, vMix is reporting that there definitely is lag, but it's it doesn't tell you where it's from. I have killed everything that, in my view, could be causing it.
Did you try turning the internet off and back on again? Just call Obama. I mean, you've got a direct line to the man.
You're being very helpful. Thank you. I'm so glad you're back. I missed you.
Yeah, absolutely. Really. I'm a problem solver. What can I say?
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is let me. Oh, that would be okay. So what I'm going to do is do that, and then see if I can maybe kick it down. There's only one thing I can think of that might help us, but I'm kind of inclined to say no, and checking it out. Nope, it's not going to help. So it may be us, it may not. I don't know. We had a similar problem last time. It wasn't nearly as bad. There's nothing else that's doing it. So I will go on as best I can. I do apologize for the lag, especially on a call-in show. It's not like it's going to be a problem. But anyway, so anyone who wants to give us a call, I didn't pin the number up, so I should pin the number up. I'll also get
pin the number up.
I should pin that. Thank you, Ethan. I've been doing this for a little while, you know.
Listen, I'm kind of an expert, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that I can be here. I put on my nice T-shirt too.
I can tell you. Oh yeah, you're all decked out.
It's where I work now, Dunder Mifflin. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, oh God.
Kind of a big deal.
So so we have a real inflated ego in the as our guest today. I missed him so much. I just wouldn't know what to do with myself if he came back.
Yeah.
All right. So let me get the number. Can I do my job? Can I do my job? Can you maybe play for time?
Apparently
be a professional?
not. But
well, son of okay. I didn't walk into that one, but still, doesn't mean you have to take every opportunity that's presented. You know, there's something called, being polite and professional courtesy. But okay. All right. So there you go. Got the number in the live chat, and I'm gonna just. So here's one thing I wanted to point out. Okay, so the number is 406-4 in time. And what I'd like to point out is when Ethan was doing his own show and he had guests call in, he did not have a branded number, and it wasn't like one of those cool numbers where it's
it's true. I don't think I ever did the phone numbers. I think I thought about it.
This joke doesn't work nearly as well with like truth and integrity, and when you start telling the fact that you didn't actually have call-in shows, it just kills the joke.
I would have just made it like
you murdered a joke today. I would
have made it like 888 for Ethan or so. I would have made it very. I would have made it something awful.
Well, we actually have, and you can hold on to them for a little while. It doesn't really cost anything, but we also have 2 in time. But I was just like, so do I want 2 in time or 2 in 4? I need to know, is it 4 in time or should it be 2 in time? Which one's better? And
I think I like 4 in time more.
Yeah,
I do like 4 in time more. I do.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you see, I get a little OCD, so it's just like, it really doesn't fucking matter, but I'll spend weeks on it, and I've still held on to the number because I was like, I'm not sure if I want to.
I like 4 in time. That's good, or it's better, I think, than 2 in time. 2 in time's good. I'm not saying, I'm not saying it's bad anyway. But.
All right, well,
quarantine T-shirts, Christina.
I had the Floby haircut for a very long time. I was just like, okay, you hook up with the vacuum cleaner to just a pair of it sucks. It doesn't work like they show you on the television.
No, it doesn't. No. It doesn't. No, I've seen the horror stories. All right, so I was going to tell you this in the pre-show, and you stopped me.
Yes.
So because I want, we got to have something to discuss here.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I'll tell you a quick story, and we can discuss it.
Perfect.
So a dog walks into a bar and orders a beer. And there's a man sitting at the bar, traditionally dressed cowboy, gunslinger type, cowboy hat, 6 iron on his hip type of thing. He says, I'm not drinking beer with a dog. And the dog is very offended by this and challenges the man to a fight. The man looks over at me and says, I'm not killing a dog. Just get out of here. And the dog's very insistent. Keeps pestering the man. And the man says, you know what? Pulls his gun, shoots the dog right through the foot. The dog yelps, runs out of the bar. About a week later, dog comes back in, and he's got on a black cowboy hat and a black vest and black chaps and black boots, black spurs, black gun on his hip. He walks up to the bar, and he slams his foot down. He says, I'm looking for the man who shot my paw.
Oh, my God.
Discuss.
I'm thrilled. I no longer have to have the title of the king of the dad jokes. I have been, that's one throne I was very happy to.
Listen, you're welcome.
Okay, so we've been overrun by solipsists, which I'm not entirely sure how that works. I think if it takes one solipsist to overrun you, but we've been overrun. And
how many solipsists does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I haven't a clue.
Neither do they.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, so okay, so we just
that joke's a lot funnier than you gave the credit for, but go on. That's pretty funny.
No, that, you know what? It went over my head, and okay.
Go ahead.
I'll give you one. Solipsist, deontologist, and everyone in live chat will be like, not this one again, but okay. Solipsist, deontologist, and a utilitarian walk into a bar. Utilitarian orders around for everybody. Lifts up his glass and says, to the greatest good for the greatest number. And everyone's like, yay. The ontologist comes up, orders everyone a drink, says, to always doing the right thing. Yay. Okay. Solipsist goes up to the bar, orders himself a drink, and just downs it. And the deontologist and utilitarian come up to him and say, why didn't you order everybody a drink? And he says, I just did. Oh, you son of, that's revenge. That was a good joke. You're like, Nick fucked my joke up.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. I like that. That's a deep cut.
You don't have to pretend. You didn't laugh. I noticed. I know.
No, it's good. No, that's good. It's just, it's deep. It's deep. Unlike a solipsist. So how do I feel about the Chauvin sentence? Well, tighten your anus.
Really? You just came back to say that. You're going to bail on the show. You're like, I said tighten your anus on this live stream. Live stream.
It's the only reason I was here.
Yep.
So how do I feel about the Chauvin sentence? Well, first of all, I thought it was only going to be about 12 years. I thought he was going to get the minimum because I figured that the judge would give more of a factor to his police work. So I wanted the sentence that he got was about the sentence. I wanted 25 is what I wanted.
Okay, so pretty close.
So 22 and a half it's close enough that I'm good with it. So I would say pleasantly surprised. But, like I said at the beginning of the stream, a man recently was released after serving 31 years of a 90-year sentence for marijuana, and Chauvin got 22 and a half for kneeling on a man's neck until he died. ACAB. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
ACAB.
Well, I mean, my view on it is, and there are people who said he should have gotten more. Past a certain point, it doesn't have any psychological impact to just keep adding years. So, I mean, 22, 25 years sounds about right. Or the obviously,
and he'll get out after 15.
Yeah,
he's not going to serve the whole thing. So.
But
although he does have 2 other court cases pending, so I mean, there could be some stuff but it'll probably be not concurrent,
or not consecutive. It'll run concurrent, probably. Yeah.
Right, that's what I meant. Right.
Yes. Translation provided by In Time Translation Services. When Ethan speaks and you don't have a clue what he's saying, call whatever in time, for in time, and we will translate for you.
Instead of text to speech, it's Ethan to speech, ETS.
Ethan to cogent. So
Ethan to cogent. There you go.
So no, I just don't think so. But obviously, I don't think marijuana should have been a class 1 narcotic. And if it really was, then maybe that. And if he was dealing it, and if he was, as a drug dealer responsible for the deaths of children,
if he was
maybe
dealing it to kids or so. Yeah, but I mean, listen, this is how Here's where I'm going to get really unpopular, but. I think that you have to do significant damage to a person or a community to serve anything greater than 10 years for anything. That should be reserved for like serial rapists and murder. I mean, like serious crimes. I think most crimes, 10 years is plenty in prison for the vast majority of crimes.
And most of it, I think, unless we manage to change our system to what they do in Norway, most of it should be in some form of solitary confinement. I don't think all of it. I'm not trying to drive these people insane, but I also don't want them forming criminal societies and learning how to be better criminals because they're, so reduce the sentences drastically, have them served more in isolation, and have it like a grown-up version of Time Out. And I'm not trying to really be I'm just sitting there going, you have been unable to function in society. We're going to sequester you. We're going to help try to train you. Let's make sure that it's there's rehabilitation and it's not just you're stuck in prison all the time, and shorten the sentences because the long sentences don't have a positive impact. In fact, they have a negative one because by the time they come out, they can't function in society.
Right. One thing that I think should happen is right now it's really hard if you're in prison to have contact with the outside world. Either it costs a lot, it costs like $25 a minute to call somebody and can cost like $5 to send an email and stuff, and it's ridiculous. And I think that that's damaging. I don't like being isolated from your family and friends. I think that's a form of, almost a psychological torture that's just unnecessary for most crimes. I'm not saying, there are crimes where you need to separate, like this person's going to harm people if they're out in society. I get it. Yep. And we don't want those people out there. We're not talking about rapists and murderers, violent crimes, completely different, but most crimes are petty crimes or drug crimes and stuff. And it's excessive.
Well, and even it depends on, some people commit violent crimes because they're a sociopath or psychopath and they just don't give a fuck. And then some people commit them because they felt backed into a corner, they were scared, crimes of extremes. So sociopaths are one issue, but they're a very different issue than rehab of everybody else.
And they're very rare.
Yes.
They're exceedingly rare, most people are the vast majority of people are not sociopaths and psychopaths. So,
All right. Jake,
Casey's here. Hey, buddy.
Jake 4D, $2. Be nice to the solipsist. If they go, we all go. And Titan, he who shall not be named. Formerly Kaiser Soze. Solipsists unite. Okay, yeah, that's clever. That's real clever. Thanks. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there even that many of them?
Well, it depends. There's either one or they're everybody, depending on which side of the fence you're on.
That was fun.
we both give that sigh at the same time. Oh, dear Lord.
Good. That was good stuff.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is, so we just did an off time, and people, somebody, it was mice. Tons of mice sent me a thing of throwing bottles at someone on that. And it took me a second to realize that, of course, that was mentioned on our off time today. But Azandring was there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if Azandring wants to show up and maybe send him the link if that's good. And let's see. It'll take me a minute anyway. So yeah, I think. Yeah, we've had a couple of shows on prison reform, and it's one of those things. It's like I actually think that our prison system is killing the country right now because we're spending so much more than every other. We have more people in prison, even as a percentage of the population, but also in raw numbers. That's not the one that's scary. It's the raw numbers. China has 3 times more people than we do, and we have more people in prison. Right. When we're a free. And it causes so many issues in communities. It causes issues in their family because the family loses an income earner. It causes issues for them because then they have to transition to this, prison society and then transition back to normal society, which are vastly different things. And I don't know how that helps. I don't know how it helps to make prisons so punitive. Like, I don't understand how it helps. Go sit in a room and be bored all day, every day for years. Why? I don't understand why we do that. And I know there's like work programs and stuff. I mean, I understand those things exist, and prisoners can learn to paint and play music and stuff. I mean, I've seen that, and I think that's good. I feel like that should be the norm, not the exception. Especially somebody who because. It's important to define. There's a huge difference between the federal prison system and the state and county jail systems. State and county jails are usually terrible. And, you could get arrested for, petty shoplifting, end up waiting for your trial that, could be a month or 2 while you're just waiting for your trial. And then, because you can't make bail, you can't get yourself out. And then you get sentenced to a year, and you're just sitting there for a year in, cramped conditions, awful food, nothing to do all day except sit around and meet other people that are in bad situations in life who have a history of making bad decisions and make bad decisions together, or learn how to make other bad decisions once you get back out on the outside again. It's not a good system, and it doesn't make much sense. And a number of states charge the inmates. So you can, by the time you get out, you owe a tremendous amount of money. You're almost unemployable because nobody wants to hire an ex-con. You certainly don't have a license. You have almost no means of getting legitimate work. If you did, you might not have ended up in jail in the first place, and now your situation's worse. Right. And if you don't pay them back, you can go back to jail because it can be a parole violation.
Yep. It doesn't make any sense unless you're a really rich person who's just never going to have to worry about it. One of my favorite quotes, and I forget who said it, but any crime that carries a fine is only a crime for the poor. And I think about that a lot.
Well, and I mean, take a look
Kyle is going to physical jail? Really?
Kyle is probably, so what has now happened. Well,
I don't know.
Back.
Since you've seen me last, I haven't paid a lick of it. I have no idea what's going on.
Today was the big day. Oh, Jesus. Give me a sec.
Oh, was it?
Get your popcorn. So what I'm going to do is... I wish
I had some.
You will not believe what has happened. So this was a roller coaster. You could not invent this shit. So to the best of my recollection, when you last tuned in... there
previously
yeah,
time.
Kyle had said that. Oops. Okay. So Kyle had said that he hadn't been served properly, and so there's this whole thing on the service. Right. And then Kyle's boyfriend came out and said he's lying, and then Kyle said, "No, I'm not. Here's my name on the."
I remember that.
Yep. So and then he had all of these receipts for having his bank statement sent there. It turns out it looks pretty conclusive at this point that they were all forgeries. He just cut and pasted different names, and they were
here,
all.
And I guess I should say this because nobody knows this. Because Kyle, last you guys knew Kyle and I were doing a show.
Yeah, you guys.
Since we had our last show,
yeah,
I haven't spoken to Kyle. He stopped responding to me.
Well, now wait a minute. Well, wait.
So I haven't spoken to him.
He submitted to the court saying he was living with you. What? Are you?
Well, okay, that's true.
Well,
yeah, that's but seriously, we haven't since we did that last show. We haven't spoken.
Well,
so anyway, so the papers were forgeries.
Okay, so and that's pretty serious. That's criminal contempt, lying to the court, and they tried to get him to log in, and they were able to really, what appears to me to be conclusively demonstrate that it was a forgery. There was a barcode, a 3D barcode on it that had the actual address to which it was sent, and that address was in fact the place where he was served, his mother's house, and he just changed the address and the thing. And they did a whole forensic thing. So I was just like, really, really, really. And then he had a lawyer, but when that happened, the lawyer bailed. He had a really good lawyer, it looks like. Then he didn't show. So they issued a summons saying, basically, you're going to be held in contempt. You need to show up and tell us what happened and why we should not hold you in contempt. That was today. He failed to show up. They have now issued, as I understand it, a warrant and they have elected to move the civil contempt to criminal, but they can't do that until he responds and they actually have him because he has a right to. So they are now. So he's looking at criminal contempt. That's also then probably going to be some serious form of contempt for not having turned over the channel up till now because it was a gamble. If he won on the and let me explain for our audience. We covered this show for a bit. We covered the thing for a bit because we thought it was an interesting, legal thing, and it was definitely drama, and we try to stay out of drama. So, but for those who've been following it or those who know in the community, it's been a little cray-cray, and it's affected a lot of people in certain communities. And it was even in Forbes.
Kyle and I were doing a weekly show while some of this was going on, so that's why it's relevant to me, right?
Yes, and as Kyle was on the lam, there was footage of Ethan on the grassy knoll in a convertible
trench coat.
In a convertible with Ethan, not Ethan, with Kyle in the passenger side,
Absolutely.
saying, yeah. So anyways, and he's also wanted, I guess, on two other things. He was driving with what appears to be switched plates from another car on his vehicle, and he didn't have a license. So he's wanted on all of that. So it looks like it's going to be some kind of Where's Waldo? They're trying to find him. Nobody knows where he is. And at one point he was in a cabin in the woods, and nobody knows.
And here's the thing that I guess I should say, I like Kyle. We worked well together. I think our show was fun. I think it was a blast to do with him. Creatively, we meshed well and we played off each other well. My heart aches for him that he's making these decisions, but no one can make them for him. Those are the decisions he's made. I hope he's all right. And I hope that once all of this is over, he doesn't make decisions like this again, because this was all avoidable.
When they asked him why he didn't show, this is not a joke. When they asked him why he didn't show the second time, he replied, because he hadn't been properly served for the second one. It's just like, really? Holy sh! I swear to God, I can't. I cannot. I'm a writer. I write fiction. I am not this good or bad as you choose to. I can't.
if you'd written that, I would have closed the book and been like, well, this is trash.
Well, that's what they say. Mark Twain said the difference between fiction and nonfiction is that fiction has to make sense.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Wow.
So,
well,
you said something that kind of took the words out of my mouth. I can't help but still like Kyle. I really can't. But
sure.
there is a conscious reality that I have to be aware of. One of the books I wrote was the prison book. It was the biography of a Walpole Supermax prison psychologist who gave therapy to some of the worst human beings you can imagine. And I'm still not right after having written that and gone through and seen who these people are and what they were doing. But one of the most charming human beings I have ever met in my life. Just sweetest, most charming, admitted to murdering 14 people, probably killed closer to 28. And several of them were children. And no problems with this, none. And so it's sort of like I take a look at Kyle and I really like him, but I also sit there and say, he can't stop doing things he really shouldn't be doing. And he certainly can't take care of himself, which is the other one. And some of this just strikes me as kind of the criminal mindset. So I have to try to bifurcate, liking him and realizing that he just can't seem to stay out of trouble. And I have a hard time doing that because he's charming and he's likable.
Well, it's a little different because I don't want this to be a shit on Kyle session because I genuinely like him. But there are some people, he's not the only one I know, who go out of their way to make bad decisions. There is zero reason to not show up to a court summons. There's very few things in life that you have to go to, but that's one of them.
I know.
You have to go.
Just FYI, he had 5 prior failures to appear before because he's been in jail. He had been in jail prior, and this was not a big. I mean, he talked about it. That's how I met him was because I had done the book, and I was being interviewed because I understood the court system, and that's why I was on the non sequitur show. It wasn't for anything else. It was for this. And he had 5 prior failures to appear. Now 2 of them it was actually over 2 days, and so there was multiple. But it is what it is. You hate to see somebody who I think is talented in so many ways, who just for whatever reason doesn't care enough to take care of what needs to be taken care of. But it is where it is, and I think he's unfortunately going to have to. It's what you said. You have to. You didn't say suffer the consequences for it, but it's his decisions, and he's gonna. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that can be done about it now except pay the piper.
Yep. So that's it. Couldn't make it. I was busy watching off time. So, okay. Yep. Always either we haven't gotten anyone calling, so either the number doesn't work or they just want to watch us sit and chat. So
that's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. So the grassy knoll is.
I'm surprised people remember who I am, but
well, listen. You had a profound impact, I think, on the community for a number of reasons, and I think many of them good, some of them not as good, but that's everybody. So, I think I don't think there are many people who don't think that you're a really bright guy and that you're fun to hang with and listen to. So a lot of people I think really looked up to you. People absolutely remember who you are, and people bring you up all the time. I say,
really,
Ethan, who? When they ask, but apparently some people, So $2 super chat, Sinister Porpoise. Thank you, Sinister, for the super chat. Bugs Bunny is the better Taoist. Ooh,
get the fuck out.
That is some throwdown.
No, excuse me. Hold on. Get the fuck out, Porpoise. Get out. How dare you? No. Because we had this conversation. Last night. And I told you it's Winnie the Pooh. Okay?
That is true.
It is Winnie the Pooh. Bugs Bunny is probably a Southern Baptist.
right. So, okay. I see. So, yeah, Xander's in the live chat, so I'll send him the thing. But and then there was one other comment I saw that. Oh yes. Susan, call in. Absolutely, call in. Susan wants to call in and say hi.
Yeah, call in.
Let me know if there's an issue with the number. There shouldn't be. But nobody's called in like 30 minutes, so that's always a little suspicious. You sit there and wonder if, but give us a call. And if you know what, if you can't come in by phone, I'll send you a link.
Someone wants to.
So and then let me send Xandering. Where is? Never forgive Prolib.
Also, Sinister Porpoise, I love you. I love you.
Sinister is the chief solipsist. We need to. She needs to get that on our Discord.
This is true. This is true.
She's the one who's been doing all the solipsist jokes. So, all right. So what I think we should do is I think Susan should call in, and if that works and she wants to do that, great. If not, Susan, hit me up on the Discord. That's the easiest way to reach me during the show, and I will send you a link, and we're just going to drop you in the show. So either way, we're good. And then is Xandering $5 super chat. What have I missed? Yeah, that's it. Jake drops a super chat at the end of every. Like Jake is completely quiet, and then at the last 2 minutes of the show, you get a super chat from Jake. He's like, "Oh, hey guys, well, I'm glad I'm here. Did I miss anything?" It's like it's the end of the show. You know
what it is? It's those people out in Seattle smoking all that goddamn weed.
That's what.
And they're just late all the time. That's what it does. It's reefer madness.
When they're not jumping out of, you know what? Yeah. All right. So let me send. Let's see. I sent him the link. Now I got to send him the password because.
Well, I'm going to get more. Easy. Actually, while you're waiting to do this, I'm going to get some more water. So I'll be right back.
Perfect. All right, so Xandering has the link, and yeah, we still don't have a call. So if Susan doesn't, Susan, just hit me up on the Discord if for whatever reason the call doesn't work. I mean, it says it's live, we're connected. What can you do? Usually Oz is called by now and is pretending to be like a theist, and there you go. We've got her. So she's here. So I'm going to connect her in a second. And let's see here. I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's good. And we're ready for Xandering. Although, why is that? Oh, that's why. All right. So let me get Susan on. And I'm also engineering getting Xandering in here because he wanted to. So now, last time we did have one issue with this, and I don't know if I saved the fix to it. So if we have any audio problems, everybody, now that Ethan's not here, we can just blame Ethan. When he comes back, I'll figure out what to do. But for now, blame Ethan if there are any audio problems. I can
hear you. I mean, I have my headset on the whole time. I can hear.
All right. So let's bring Susan in. And Susan, you're on. How are you?
Hi. How are y'all?
Hi, Susan.
I'm good. Ethan can hear you. The only question is if the live chat can hear you, and I'm just going to double check and make sure that audio is routed to the live chat because last time it wasn't. It was just on the back end. So for now, we'll assume they can hear you. It
wouldn't be an in-time show without audio issues, right?
You know what?
Right. I think that's in the contract, isn't it?
I think that's. You know what? That's it. I'm just going to go home. Oh, I am home. Fuck, I'm screwed. Okay.
I mean, that was quick.
Feel like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah, screw you guys, I'm going home. Talking poop is where I draw the line.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I know that one too well. All right, my suspicion is they can hear you. Everything should be good. Susan, how are you? Thank you for calling.
I'm pretty wonderful. I'm sitting in the car waiting for Nathaniel to get off of work. That's about it. We did an AMA on our channel the other night, and I loved the Taoist question so much. And immediately when Sinister Porpoise was like, Bugs Bunny is the better Taoist, I was like, I understood that reference. I'm very proud of myself.
Bugs Bunny is not a Taoist.
It was pretty cool. So, yeah.
That's heretical. That's heresy. And you know what happens when you're heretical to a Taoist? We ask you even more questions.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh, what's gonna happen?
Oh, here's okay. I know the start of it.
Sounds miserable.
I know the start of a joke. I don't have the end of it, but I got the start of a joke, which is, what do you get when you cross a Taoist and a street epistemologist? That's just the start. I don't have, but if they're asking, I don't know. Okay, never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. Susan, bail me out.
Where do you get when you cross a Taoist and a street epistemologist?
I don't know.
More questions than a 5-year-old? I don't know.
Okay, well, you're headed in the right direction. I like where you're going.
No, I've got the punchline. Do you know what the punchline is?
What?
Here, I'll set it up. Do it again. Set it up. I'll give you the punchline.
What do you get when you cross a street epistemologist and a Taoist?
Why?
That's it. That's totally it. That's totally it. That's totally it.
And
good night, folks, everybody. We're ending on a
Yeah.
high note. We're not going to get higher than that. It's been a great show. Thank you all very much.
We peaked. We're done. We're done.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's over.
Susan, why are you doing this on a
amazing,
Friday
and I
night?
love it.
That's really my question for you.
So we've been down to one car for the last 4.5 months. So Nathaniel brings me to work in the mornings and then picks me up in the afternoon, and I basically hang out at Best Buy until he's done.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in the car watching live streams, and just generally being a lazy bum. And I'm enjoying the content, I swear.
While you're at Best Buy, I would like, let's see, some Apple AirPods Max. I'd like.
No, you don't get any Apple products. We're a Samsung family, damn it.
Oh, get her off. No, listen. I can't hear you over my iPhone 12 Pro. So, I'm sorry.
I can guarantee you that my Note 20 Ultra takes better photos than your phone. So.
It's fine. Listen.
I
if I wanted to be an elitist, I would own Apple.
Nathaniel can fight on this one.
No, actually, I'm. The nice thing about the Apple is I just don't really have to think about it. Like I can just take pictures and they're fine. You know, I don't have to think about a bunch of little adjustments in order to make them really great. Yeah, they're fine.
Okay, I hear that. Maybe it's me. Maybe I have the ability to destroy any technology, no matter how idiot-proof. But my daughter busted up her old iPod. It was supposed to be on cloud backup. I checked. I backed it up to the cloud. Did the whole nine yards. She blew the thing up. Nope, it's not backed up to the. And the number of times my phone has said it's backed up, and then I try to find the backup. No backup. Can't do it. And then have to try to resuscitate the phone for one more connection to the computer so that you can actually. The Wi-Fi backups never work. None of it never works. If you connect the thing, it can. But I'm also the guy who can't figure out his own microphone. So I don't.
Yeah. Well.
You know what works really well is Samsung Smart Switch and a Google account. Dear Lord. That way you don't have to worry about backup.
Did you guys see the new Windows 11 has been announced? And Windows 11 looks almost exactly like OS. Like they've even copied the little taskbar at the bottom of the screen. And then in the announcement, they showed a PC monitor, they showed a Surface monitor, and they showed a phone. And they're like, look, it looks exactly the same across all platforms. And I was like, yeah, like Apple does. So apparently Windows is just still stealing from Apple 35 years later.
They're trying real hard.
You're trying very hard.
You know what I want back? I want Windows 3.1 back. That's what I want back.
What?
Like a DOS boot Windows 3.1 system. That's what I want back.
I mean, it had its pluses.
Like Spin
it
City.
had its pluses.
What was it? Windows.
I saw a joke.
Yeah, please.
Go ahead.
Windows. Yeah. Okay, they're like Ethan goes first.
No, you. It's you. It's your show. It's your show.
No, you're just disagreeing with me for the sake of. Dude, it's your turn.
Contrarian.
It's your turn.
All right. So, So I saw this meme the other day, and somebody said, "Why would I want Windows 11 when I have Windows 95?" And I thought that was really funny.
Exactly. Windows 3.1 had this great screensaver where it was basically Bill Gates on one of those like rolled down, window washer things, and he would take a sledgehammer and bust out the screen like one part at a time, and then eventually it was Windows 95, and it was just so much greater.
Oh, that's cool.
It was cool.
I wish I had that.
It was cool, damn it! I promise it was.
It sounds cool.
No, I want to see if I can find that as a screensaver and use that to make my computer Windows 95 again.
I'm sure if you look hard enough, or just go on Fiverr and pay somebody to make it.
True. Yeah.
I love the.
How much you want to make this? All right, you're good.
It's the joke. Windows XP was a 64-bit patch to a 32-bit veneer of a 16-bit system running on an 8-bit core by a company that doesn't give 2 bits about its users.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
What's funny is that the kernel for Windows there's actually pieces of Windows 3.1 kernel. I think it's the Windows 3.1 kernel in Windows 10.
Yes.
To this day.
They can't pull it out. They can't pull it out because they don't know what it does. They've gotten so detached.
Right.
When they pull it out, Windows stops working, and the code is so spaghetti by this point. Nobody can trace and figure out what it does.
Right.
All right, so a couple super chats. Is Andring, person $5. What have I missed? Thank you, is Andring. I sent you the link. Please come join us. Should double check and make sure he didn't come in while I was sneak in through the Jake 4D. You know what? We really miss Ethan and your perspective. Thank you, Jake. I could not agree more. Sinister Porpoise, $2. Dusted off the flapper gear tonight, so I was late. Yes, Sinister, you were late, so was everybody else. Let's see. My Nikon D35 100 takes better pictures than the iPhone and the Samsung. Jake, $5 super chat. Sir, that sounds good, but if you listen to it on an Apple, what's the point?
You know what? I'm going to fight back against that because they recently, on Apple Music, they gave everyone Dolby Atmos. As long as you subscribe to, you don't have to pay anything extra, and you just have Dolby Atmos on all your music. And that was pretty epic. That was pretty cool because I've used Apple Music for a long time.
It comes with Dolby Atmos on it.
All right, and what I'm going to do here. And I guess all right. So, and I'm going to bring in Isandering because Isandering can't come in by vMix. It doesn't like him. He's a trucker, so I think he gets the. So Isandering has now been also brought into the call. Isandering, welcome. Susan is still here because, unlike certain atheist network groups that shall remain nameless, we can host as many people simultaneously as we want because this is a quality program. Isandering, how are you?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the fact that nobody lives in Red Deer or Red Lodge, Montana, and that's where your phone number is. So you've taken over all the lines.
all the phone lines are
taking over all of Montana.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were about to make a Red Lobster joke, and now I'm just disappointed.
We just lost, and Neil 604 is in the, and Neil has arrived. Neil, thank you for joining us. We just lost. I don't know what happened. Neil? I clicked this button, and we lost Xandering. I don't know. The voice thing on it always calls him Hi Sandra. It's
that happens a lot.
Yeah.
There's an amazingly large number of tunnels that I apparently drive through.
It's amazing, and they're invisible. You can't see them, but they just screw with the signal. Right. We're working on that.
Just suddenly you're in an elevator. It's the weirdest thing.
Oh dear Lord. Okay. And Tons of Mice is saying grossly inappropriate comments in our live chat, and so we'll have to have
cool.
But that's nothing new for Tons of Mice.
No, it's really not new for Tons of Mice. And I was like, we'd better. And I was just like, nah, you know what, we'd better give him a guest spot. Oh dear Lord. So it was Tons of Mice. I think it was Tons of Mice who did the bottle thing. throwing the bottle at me. It's like, oh, they watched the show and I didn't even know what they were talking about. Yeah. I was going to call it dad. I'm just getting older. Okay. So I hurt myself today. My girls got me because they figured
I'm
that
sorry,
this is...
Johnny Cash.
My girls figured, so they got me one of these sweet tart chew things, but it had hardened, so it was really hard. Take a bite, it won't go. I bite it and cut across my face. Oh dear Lord, we really okay. She said, "Joke, we've now had 3 in the last like 2 minutes. This is. It's a quality show. I don't know where I went wrong. It probably had something to do with saying Ethan could come on. I'm going to say that that's probably where this show started to head south.
I mean, I blame you.
You're not allowed. You may or may not remember this, but we actually have on In Time. I've said this before. Like this was one of the very first documents we drafted. We drafted a privacy policy. We drafted guidelines for people on the Discord, and we drafted the order of blame. And the first is the nearest applicable Canadian. Now Randolph isn't here, so we got a bit of a problem. But
Neil's in chat.
What?
Neil's in chat.
Neil's in chat. So it's Neil's fault. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Neil, for coming. I appreciate it. Please stick around. We really could use you. So everything's going to be Neil's fault for the rest of the night. And it did turn out that anybody with a beard, it turns out, was last on the order of blame, which was a shocking. I was surprised to see that the document worked out that way, but I am not surprised to see that you're now sporting a beard. I'm just trying to do an end run around this.
Oh wait, were you talking to me or Susan?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yes, I was telling Susan that she was sporting a beard.
Okay. All right.
So, well, listen, a lot's changed. A lot's changed since you've been gone, Ethan.
Listen,
a lot has changed.
I don't judge.
Ethan, I think, saw my face 2 nights ago, but still,
It looked very beardless. I mean, if you're growing them that quick, there may be a hormone issue. You need to consult your doctor.
It's very blonde.
I'm skilled. I'm very skilled.
In the right light with the right with the right foundation. Everything.
Right.
Makes sense. Makes sense. It really does.
So I did a show on Ethan's channel. It was about favorite Star Trek episodes and it was really good. And we wanted to do another one, and we were going to do Duet from DS9, and we're going to have a watch party for Duet, because I think that one is just so highly underrated. So if Ethan's got time, we'll have to do Duet. We'll have to get people in. Mowdy, I know.
I do. I have more time now. So
perfect. And
I have a request for a Star Trek episode for you to do.
All right.
Since you're jumping between different series. I'm nervous. Equinox, parts 1 and 2, but most specifically part 2. But you kind of have to watch part 1 to know what's going on in part 2. So
that's
I think
we won't go into it right now, but
that
I like Equinox because it really goes into morality.
It does, and I was never that big a fan of Voyager. I thought they really could have done much better for the most part.
Man, I'm leaving.
But when they hit it, oh dear! But that one,
no kidding. That's like hands down the best series. Now there's some really dumb episodes like the Warp 10 one, but
oh god, yeah.
But no, that was a really awesome.
All of Star Trek Voyager is like season 2 of TNG. Like season 2 of TNG has some of the best Star Trek ever written and some of the worst Star Trek ever written. And all of Voyager is like just season 2 of TNG stretched out to seven seasons.
Yes, there are some pretty dumb episodes that pop up in there, and then there's some that you pop up and you're like, "Wow, you really went for it there."
What's the one where they're on the space tether?
I gotta watch
Do you remember that episode?
Where they're what?
Do you remember the episode where they're on the space tether?
When
and it's like you can tell the actors do not give a shit about the episode, and everyone is like just angry and pissed off. It's so funny to watch because you can tell they all hate it. They hate the script. They hate the sets. And the whole set is like in this little tiny elevator, and they're all like cramped together. It's probably 4:00 in the morning. Anyway.
I vaguely remember, and the thing is sort of either it's going up or it's going down, like the whole it's this
something, or at some point it starts to crash, and Neelix is like starring in the episode, and you never want. There's very few episodes where Neelix stars, where that's a good thing.
Where it turns out great.
Well, okay, that one that I will say
Is now
too.
a bad time to mention I've never watched Star Trek?
Wait, you mean like any of it?
Why is she here? What?
I don't know.
You don't have a beard.
No, I have a. I can kick her. I can kick her. Hold on. This is a moral obligation
You're
right
not
now.
buying my headset that I want. You're shitting on my Apple products that I love. I literally sleep next to this thing. Okay.
And I was just here to say hi to you, man. Come on.
So who is this Susan person, and why is she trolling us? She's calling in. She's shitting all over our show, our beliefs, our deeply held beliefs. This is supposed to be like
Hold on. I need to address something I just saw in chat. I'm sorry, guys. Little segue. Sinister Porpoise, if you keep offending me with statements, okay, I think we talked about this earlier. Guys, I'm so sorry. We'll get right back to this. I'm really sorry. Get the fuck out. Take your flapper and go.
Please stay, Porpoise. I will pay so much for what you're doing to just keep it up.
There are 4 lights. Well, there are 4 lights, actually. No, that's actually correct. There are 4 lights.
There are 4 lights, yes. Well, you don't know, do you? Because the last time you didn't see all the lights. Mm-hmm. You didn't see the lights, all 4 lights. It could have been 5. It was probably 4.
There's this great meme of Captain Picard.
There's a great meme of
Hold on.
I don't know why you stopped. I didn't hear anything. I do remember the ghost of this person called Susan that I cared about and maybe would listen to if she spoke. But right now, it's just like dead to me. So
it's like a whisper
there's a
in the
great
wind.
meme of Captain Picard on Wheel of Fortune, and it's an unsolved puzzle, and it just has like THE. No, it's TH and then A, and then an F, and no letters, and then LIGHTS, whatever it is. And he's like, I'd like to buy an E, and Vanna's like touching all the E's, and he's like, no, there's one more E. Anyway, if you haven't watched the episode, you won't get that meme, so it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
I will say, and to your point about Voyager, the one where Neelix and the Vulcan, what's his
Tuvix.
Tuvix.
Tuvix is the name of the episode.
Tuvix.
Yes. That was insane, and frankly, I'm sitting there going, half of you is just like, I don't know what, I would be curious to know what you guys think, but I'm sitting there going, is Janeway committing like a war crime now with this?
Yeah, that was a good, well, and that's what it goes into in Equinox as well.
Yes.
And that one is where a lot of people have decided that Janeway actually completely crossed the line, in that even her own crew was worried about her crossing the line in that 2-part episode, because she gets pretty vindictive in that.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and she takes
right now.
the whole thing personally. So yeah, let's just keep talking about things that Susan.
She takes it very personally.
Yeah, I like talking about things that Susan.
So
she
here's what I'll say about that.
I gotta go
committed
because Anna's off of work.
Oh, you gotta go?
Right.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. Was there anything you wanted to say before you bailed?
Yes, I do gotta go.
Okay.
I love y'all very much.
That's for you.
Y'all have a good night.
That's for you.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you so much for calling. All right. So I've put her number on block. We won't have to worry about that again. And so
well.
All right. So what were you saying, Ethan?
So we should do a whole episode about this, I guess, maybe.
No,
Anyway,
I think we should.
You know what? If you want to know how I feel about the episode 2, Vix, you're just going to have to tune in. You just have to tune into that episode.
That
there you go.
is what a pro does. Okay, I'm going to have to take back a couple of the things I said about Ethan. Oh, dear Lord. Xandering, how are you? We've been so busy like making fun of people who aren't cultured and don't like Apple products and haven't seen like Star Trek that didn't get a chance to really say hi. How are you?
I'm goodish.
Oh, we had this. Yeah, I remember that. And this is Xandering. For those of you who don't recognize the voice, he's been on the show a number of times. Always a delight to have him, and I really like the off time that we're doing because I had forgotten just how it was a great conversation. So that was I'm glad that's finally getting out the door. So.
Find all my weird, wacky views on things that I have nothing but time to think about them while I'm driving down the road, so I come up with some really crazy shit.
Cool. That's my favorite.
I think I'm in my brain too much driving down the road. Because I argue with myself.
I can just see you. You're one of those truck drivers, like you just look at you're like, what the hell is that guy doing? You just see him in the window.
If I literally drove all
or
day,
heaven forbid, I get a little tired.
My brain. Right.
All right,
Sometimes I'll get tired, and so I'll turn music on. I don't usually listen to music, but I'll turn music on and then sing along with it. It helps keep me, helps wake me back up. So I've often wondered what that would look like. Somebody driving by, just seeing me screaming along with the music going down the road. Eyes pried open.
It's funny you bring that up. I've heard a lot of truck drivers are trying this thing. It's called meth. Have you tried that?
Oh, Jesus, for fuck's sake. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh, YouTube, you have been demonetized in this life, the afterlife, and all.
Right. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah. Right. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, the three meths that the guy in the corner sold me had a little warning label that says, "Warning, when taking a piss test, this shows up. Use accordingly." And I went, damn. Oh. I guess I can't try this.
See, then you just give it to the cat and have a party.
Just play it. Just watch what the cat does.
I would not have a cat in my truck.
Not anymore. Not after giving them all your meth.
I thought I had
go in. No cat with half a brain would go in there after. Jesus, are you kidding?
True.
So, all right. So we've got we've got another caller here. So, who wants to talk about the first 100 days of the Biden What are they talking? Who's Biden? This is not that kind of show.
I'm sorry. You said Biden?
Yeah.
Who?
It's a Biden election first 100 days.
The Biden administration?
All right. So who's so we got a caller. Hello, welcome.
Google this.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Jake. How are you, buddy?
Good. Glad to see Ethan back.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say back, but I'm here tonight.
He's well. Listen, it's Taoism, right? He's present, and you don't know where that presence will be in the future. It's just
Sure.
Can you be happy with the now? Jake, do you have to be putting all this pressure on him? I'm glad he's back and that he's going to be building 3 brand new channels dedicated to politics and the social sciences and the
Not doing that.
Yeah.
Nope.
So.
Nope.
I
might talk about Star Trek occasionally. Yeah.
Oh God,
do you really want my opinion on the first 100 days of the Biden administration? Like, do you actually want that?
I do, but before that, you're talking about the Windows kernel having so much crap in it. What about x86? x86 has like 3,000 instructions, and most of them are unnecessary. They're legacy instructions. the new ARM processor does, I think it's 50 x86 instructions, and it can do almost everything your modern computer can do. Just legacy applications, it doesn't function properly.
I mean, look at that new M1 chip that's in. Yeah, I'm going to suck Apple's dick for a minute. Like, deal with it. The new M1 chip that's in the MacBooks, the MacBook Pros. That thing is like, it's insane.
Right.
People are rendering 4K videos in 4 minutes.
I know.
Like,
I mean, that's all you've got to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm tempted to. I don't know if I should tell Ethan this or not.
Uh-oh.
Good news, bad news. Good news. The show's been streaming on an iMac, one of the newer iMacs. So we support.
Okay.
Yeah. Bad news, it's running Windows.
Okay. Why?
It's also laggy.
Why would you do that?
It's been laggy.
It looks like a slideshow on the Mac.
Oh dear Lord, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been running better on the Mac than on the other PC. I'm going to sort the whole thing out. But okay, so you had a question.
Are you using dual boot?
About yeah, I'm using Boot Camp. The reason is vMix won't run on. The Mac was for a dedicated machine, but it turns out that vMix won't run on. So I was just like, really? They're like, it runs on the Mac. Little tiny print in dual boot. It won't run on a Mac, asshole. It'll run on Windows. That's it. Don't give me the. Well, yeah. If you trick out,
it must be written in like C, like
No.
not C. I'm not talking about C+. I'm talking about C.
No, it's dependent on direct draw. It has to have. It will not operate without direct draw. I don't know why. There has got to be other solutions, and that's the only. If they had it so it wasn't dependent on direct draw, they could put it on any platform. But because it must use direct draw,
Sure. The problem is you got to have a developer on your team that knows how to get that translation done. That's why. And if you don't have somebody on your team, you got to third party it or hire somebody new, and that's why.
Yep.
So.
All right.
So last year, Ethan did a lot of shows on the run up to the election and the primaries, and we did a lot of talking about what Biden would look like in office for the first term, and compared to what we were thinking back in 2020 as to what's actually happened since he's been in office. How do you feel your predictions were, and how do you feel his overall performance, regardless of your predictions?
Well, as you recall, well, you may not recall. Oh, Casey, don't even get me started. If you recall, in 2019, December of 2019, I predicted that if Biden was the nominee, he would lose. Now, that was pre-pandemic. Of course, the pandemic completely changed the chessboard. I couldn't have predicted that. So the fact that Biden even won surprised the hell out of me. Not real. As we got close to the election, I saw Trump really, messing up the pandemic. It wasn't as much of a surprise. Here's the thing. Biden keeps talking about, hinting at, wanting to do these really progressive things, right? But that darn Joe Manchin just keeps throwing a wrench in all of them. If you don't think that the establishment of the DNC is a big reason why Joe Manchin just keeps throwing wrench in things, I have a bridge to sell you. The establishment of the DNC doesn't want a lot of those progressive policies because it would hurt the same rich people that fund the Republican side, right? You don't want to hurt rich people. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. You don't want to be responsible for hurting rich people. How about that? I'll put that out there. Because then they're not going to donate to you anymore, except for some of the really progressive ones that actually are like, yeah, you need to tax us more. But that's like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, and I think that's the entire list. So I like some of the things they're walking back with executive orders. There was another one today that Biden's walking back about methane, something about methane. What are the Trump things? The truth of the matter is the Republicans are gutting voting rights all over the country. Now, the DOJ did say today they're going to sue Georgia. That's a good first step. The DOJ didn't just decide that today. Obviously, it's been in planning for months, and there were teams and armies of lawyers that are putting together whatever case they're presenting. So this has been in the works for quite some time, I'm sure. But, it's kind of the administration I expected. I like the move with the pipeline. Although a judge has now stepped in, we'll see. Biden is confirming judges even faster than Trump did, so that's good. Or not confirming, I'm sorry, and not appointing. What's the word I'm looking for? Nominating, thank you. Judges even faster than Trump did. Sure, like that. I like that.
Well, anybody's going to do it. I mean, a hamster's going to get more done than but please continue.
Well, Trump, one of the things that he did that was an accomplishment, I didn't like it, but it was an accomplishment, was that he basically filled every open federal judgeship in the nation.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he didn't appoint any. He had issues with cabinet positions, but I think he was worried about the 25th. But yeah,
yes, but I think.
Do you think
that
you still think Biden is a hardcore DNC?
Lackey?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things he wants to do right now is give more money to cops. And I'm like, why are we giving more money to cops? We need to give more money to anyone else. Anyone. Me. Anyone. Like literally anyone.
I'm going to interrupt for a sec. I want to finish this, but somebody's been waiting. So we have also now waiting. We still have his Andering on, but we also now have the Sinister Corpus. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But most decidedly,
it didn't come through. I'm going through a tunnel.
Not Mr. Park. It's not Mr. Park. It's this. So we have a voice dictation because I love screwing things up. So when the callers come in, I can actually read. I don't have to listen to the messages. I can read who's coming in.
Right.
But if sometimes so last time Sinister Porpoise came in, it said, "Hi, I'm Mr. Park, us and wondering," and I was just like, "Who's Mr. Park?" Like, who's Mr. Park? And it was Sinister. And now today it's Sinister Corpus. So I want you guys to finish that thought, but she's been waiting for about 10 minutes, so I'm going to bring her in here, and let's definitely finish that thought.
So
I disagree with you on the money for cost a little bit. Sorry,
sure.
little bit of delay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
So I'm okay with giving more money to cops as a percentage, like. Cops should get more money, but the money that's currently going there should be split up between cops and social workers or something similar to that. And we should be giving a heck of a lot more money to teachers, social workers, anybody who's a public servant so we can get better quality people in there. And we should be taking that money from the military. We don't need this big of a military. We have allies. That's why we have allies. We can rely on them a lot more than we currently do. But get a better paycheck for the cops that we retain and have better standards for cops, but also shift that responsibility over to social workers and
Yeah, my big issue, and then we'll get on to Mr. Park. You said.
Yes, Mr. Park and Sinister Corpus. I think they're two people, but okay.
If we're still in a country that has wellness checks performed by police, we're doing it wrong. That's how I'll finish that. ACAB.
Before I go, I did wanted to say that, Nick, you're totally wrong about Star Trek. Voyager is the best Star Trek, and Stargate SG-1 is better than all of them.
Well, tell you what, I have an open mind. I'm willing to admit you're wrong. So we'll have a discussion on that. And you know what? If listen, there are a number of Voyager episodes I really liked, and a number I remember when they first met the Kazon. She was just like, if we ever have you guys, I'm going to kick your ass. And then she meets him again. She's like, oh, we're going to let him go. It's like, what? But okay. But there were some of the episodes I saw were really good. I thought the pilot was spectacular. So I mean, I do think there's a lot of good there. But we'll talk. We'll do some more. We'll do some more shows. The other ones that we got to do is because who was it? No, I think it was Vox, who had never seen War Games, and I don't think we want anyone on the show or in the audience who hasn't seen War Games. So we're going to do another movie night on War Games. So we got to do a movie night on War Games. We got to at a minimum do. I think Equinox would be a good one to do, and certainly duet. So we'll figure it out. If Ethan still has time and wants to do a couple of those with us, I think that would be a blast. So let's do that. Thank you very much, Jake, for joining us and stick around as long as you can. But I want to make sure that Sinister, because Sinister has been immensely patient. Sinister, how are you?
I am well. I would like to disavow everything he said about Voyager being better than DS9. And I just have one question.
I said this was going to be a nice, easy hang. There's not going to be a lot of drama, and now it's just
sorry.
like
I'm in an elevator.
Yes.
Your signal's not coming through.
I just have one question. What is this Linux distribution? What are these two Linux distributions, Apples and Windows? Also, I agree the M1 chip is pretty cool, but it's an ARM chip, and because it's an ARM chip,
I'm
that
sorry,
means I can now install
Ubuntu?
macOS on my Raspberry Pi.
Oh, good Lord. How many floppy disks does it take to hold Mac OS?
How many?
Well, I know it takes 192.
Oh, I don't.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
What? Yeah, I was asking Sinister Purpose.
Oh, I thought it was. I'm sorry. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a set. Okay. Never mind.
I mean, it is a joke. Linux, yes, is a joke. Yes, that's true.
Oh, well, let's be
know
honest.
It takes 192, I think. I think it takes 192 floppy disks to hold Windows XP. Someone did the math on that?
Makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Although I think they're forgetting things.
Bite the bullet and switch to a Unix core. I'm sorry. You know what? It was the best thing that happened. Apple already had a good OS. Let's be clear. Apple had a spectacular OS, even though in terms of like not functional, in terms of features, Apple tended to be like 2 generations behind. When it came in terms of like folders, or you had to jailbreak the iPhone originally to get any of the good features you could get on any other phone. But the Apple never suffered the Y2K bug. Why? Because it was built right the first time. Had a SCSI interface from the beginning, so that they didn't have to sit there and say, "Oh, you have 4 devices and 2 masters already, so you can't have a third." You didn't have to worry about any of that stuff on them. And when USB came along, like, sure, we could. Well, we've been able to do it with a serial forever, so I mean, we'll do USB because everyone else is doing it. But so I mean, there's some real quality stuff there, but there's a couple.
That's true. No. Do you either of you know anything about guitars, Sinister Purpose? Or
listen, I'm trying to get
what
Maui
programming
in here.
language is that?
He could answer, but yeah.
Okay.
No.
So somebody the other day was asking me, and it's one of the big questions. Everybody's like, "Well, what's the difference between a Fender Stratocaster and a Les Paul, a Gibson Les Paul?" And I said, it's like the difference between Windows and Apple. Like a Fender Stratocaster, you've got all these different connections. It's really easy to like get a pick plate off. It's easy to change out the, if you don't want single coil and you want all humbuckers, or if you want all single coil, or whatever it is you want to do. But a Les Paul, you just sit down and you just play and it sounds good. And that's how Apple and Windows are. Like with Windows, you don't have to think about anything. You just sit down and now you have to use it the way that they make you use it, but it works really well. It just works. You just turn it on, it works. Like I can take a note on my iPhone and lock it with my face and encrypt it and everything, and then a week later go over to my iPad and just look at my iPad, and it's unlocked, and I can look at whatever I wrote and redo my notes. You know what I mean? And now you could make all of that happen on a Windows machine, but there's extra steps you have to take. And then that's
full disclosure.
That's why I like Apple, because when I'm doing work, when I got to go help a client, when I got to get a question answered, whatever, I go on here and I just find it and it just works, and I can just do the stuff that I need to do. But I mean, I'm gaming. This is a PC that I built myself. Like, I mean, I'm not against Windows. I mean, it's what I've got. So,
well, for gaming, you're not going to have much of another option, really, if you're serious about it.
Well, it depends on what games you want to play, but.
You can't get Mass Effect.
What kind of nerd built their own computer? She says,
all of them.
Having built her own computer.
Yeah, all of them.
Anyway.
Well, I'm trying to get Mouty in here because we needed a guitar player, and then I remembered he's not a guitar. Well, he's not a guitar player. He's a bass player, but because he has half a brain, that's what we call in bass gifted.
And I have something I need to tell him too. I do have something I need to tell him.
Nobody tell him I told that joke, please. Yeah, you said that earlier. You said you wanted. Oh, now he's gonna come and watch. But now I'm dying to.
That's fine as long as he's in the chat. I need to tell him something.
It's awfully late for him to show up in the chat. It's possible, but Mouty's bedtime. His mama puts him to bed usually around 9 p.m.
This is true.
Getting him in for the later shows. There's a few he's done. It's like if we have on somebody like Anthony Magnavosco, he's like, I'll be there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to address something in the chat for 1 second. Lone Wolf Atheist. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like PRS, like, dude, fantastic. Somebody was asking me about the difference between Gibson and Stratocasters. That's the Les Paul and Stratocaster, whatever.
And we've got a super chat, $2 from Jake 4D. Jake, thank you once again. I thank you as always. We really appreciate those super chats. Apple, it just works, except when it doesn't.
That's true. And when it doesn't work, it definitely does not work.
Does that make Linux building the guitar yourself?
No. Linux would be like if you went down to the guitar shop that's owned in your local neighborhood and they have like pour over coffees when you walk in, and all of the guitars are made from like reclaimed willow wood from the Everglades that is like only found by Tibetan monks who like wash themselves with incense and prayer powders as they make gifts to the gods. That would be Linux guitars.
I'm gonna say that you maybe went that metaphor may have just gone a little further than I'm just saying. Okay. Okay, and I've noticed, so Xandering's still connected, and he's still here, but he also knows that in time is actually charged by the minute as long as he stays on. So he's just sitting there going like, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to fuck with Nick. Yeah. It's like, yeah, thanks, Xandering. Love you too.
Yeah, I'm having some pistachios.
I just hope he stopped giving meth to his cat.
Hanging out, just listening.
Okay.
I do think the meth to the cat thing was we've notified the authorities. I asked Titan to get on that. So
Andrew, as far as I'm concerned, you stay on the line as long as you want, bud.
He does not represent the show. Whoa, hold on. Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, you stay on the line as long as you need to, all right? You are welcome here. Listen, you can stay on the line after the show is over. If you just want to stay on the line all night long, you have my permission.
Oh, dear Lord. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So, oh my God, I'm like caught up in the live chat. The sound's working, which is just like a friggin' miracle.
Yeah.
We have Mr. Park for fuck's sake. Of course, you think it's you. Yeah, the credit doesn't work the same way that blame does. Just FYI. In fact, it's the reverse order. Credit usually starts from the bottom of the blame ladder.
Right.
It's a cosmic coincidence. Nobody knows how that.
Listen, isn't it weird that you wrote both documents? Isn't that just a coincidence?
Well, it's not weird. I mean, it's my channel, so I mean, somebody has to do it, and most people don't like writing. I'm pretty good at it, so I volunteered. It was a team effort. Other people had input.
Full disclosure. There is one full disclosure thing I should say. There is an iPad somewhere in this house.
So she makes it sound like she's hiding it away. Like somebody's gonna knock on her door. Are you hiding any iPads in your attic? Oh, no, sir. I don't know what you're. It's not a crime,
Yeah. I don't think you have to hide them from the Gestapo or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where's
the extent of my experience with Apple is my iPod.
Yeah, iPods were great, man. God, I loved my iPod.
Of course, I have to download, the Audible app so that I can use it for my books. But
right. Well, I had the original. I don't know if it was the original iPod, but I had one of the early iPods when back when you would download all of your music off of LimeWire as MP3s, and they all sounded terrible.
Oh, wow.
Because they were overcompressed. Yeah, I'm talking 2002, something like that. That's back when I had an iPod.
And I think we've started something new. They're going to debate what type of guitar Linux is for months now.
Yeah, well, Linux. I don't even know how we yeah. I don't.
It's my fault. There's a new guitar I want. There's a guitar I want. So
you were saying that, and I just don't know. Now I feel like I'm completely left out of the loop because I have no idea. And you were describing it before the show, and I'm just like, yay, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's a Les Paul. I want a Les Paul. There's one I want.
Okay. Marty got a new bass, and he was thrilled about that. I'm going to play the only reason I can sort of understand the bass is because my best friend in college was a bass player. So like, okay, I get it, but I still don't. No,
I'm terrible at the bass. I mean, I'm not good at guitar either, but I'm terrible at the bass.
Okay, and I am now literally hearing bass in the background. Or am I going crazy?
No, I hear that too. I think that's Sinister Porpoise playing her Linux bass.
Oh, Jesus!
You should have told him that he was just going crazy.
This is.
I don't hear it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, that's the good thing is Ethan hasn't done this in a little while, so he's a little rusty. He's not coming back. So once he gets back to form, I don't think I can handle. I'm like, okay, it's just like, so, Nick, you're muted.
I mean, I don't blame you.
What? I'm gonna start shouting into the what? No, Nick, we can't hear you. Everyone else in the live chat's gonna be laughing their asses off.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna write that one down.
Oh, did I play this? Oh, no.
Bad issues.
Sorry, Professor, I didn't catch that. What?
Next time I drive through, I'm going to stop and put one of those little Halloween things outside your house that runs out, and you can use your phone to control them.
Oh, Jesus.
That way, when you're doing the show, I can start having it do the haunty, spooky sounds. So everybody will think you're going nuts.
What
is that damn sound?
Please do that.
You have way too much spare time.
Please do that.
And I'm not thrilled that you know where I live now. I don't know. No, that may not have been a good idea.
It's not exactly that it's spare time, but I have an enormous amount of time to just think, and that is not necessarily.
Well, if you could start using that time and thinking, that would probably help all of us a lot.
Well, we know no sane person would ever quit a YouTube channel just because they got a real job.
Well, that's true. I have no idea how that happens. That's a like, I want to support my family, and you're not going to try to do it gamble your whole life on YouTube, and that maybe you got a successful YouTube channel so you can support your family. Who doesn't do that? Yes, Ethan.
It
Yes.
wasn't the only reason. Maybe
okay,
I was thinking about I'll do a show where I'll officially say goodbye. I don't know. Would anyone show up?
Yeah, I think you'd get more people than you think. So yeah, well, and that last joke had several layers to it, but we'll ignore that. So what were you saying, Porpoise?
It's fine.
I'm sorry, I was trying to keep up with the arguments over Linux guitars in the chat.
Well, I respect your attempt to defend your crazy little operating system.
Well, Linux isn't just one operating system, it's literally hundreds.
Oh, Jesus.
You see, you had to say it, Ethan. You had to say it. I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming, Ethan.
What wasn't that the operating program that Jurassic Park ran? Didn't they have all those problems? I seem to remember a lawsuit about that.
You're right.
Well, yeah, I seem to. Well, isn't that like a warning on it? Warning if you run Linux, dinosaurs may take over the planet. You got to be careful about those kinds of things. You got to take those warnings seriously.
I mean, they only took over one island,
or at least a small tropical island.
At least, yeah, okay, but it's like those warnings on the hair blower that says, do not use while showering, or on the shirt that says remove child before laundering. You need to pay attention to those kinds of things. I think Linux is just.
Wait, remove child before laundering?
Okay, I would like to point out everyone has missed the overall important moral of Jurassic Park. And it's not about operating systems, it's not about how life finds a way. It's about how you should always pay your IT staff well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite IT memes, it's this executive, and she's standing in front of the IT guy holding up a piece of technology. And she says, everything's working. Why do we pay you people so much? And then the next one, she's holding the same piece of technology, but it's broken. And she says, everything's broken. Why do we pay you people so much? Always love that.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you know what? I figure maybe about another 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're going to, start to wrap this up. So if anybody wants to call in, and now is going to be your last chance. We still have Jake Zandering and Sinister Corpus on the line, and we've got anyone else wants to call in. Now is your. Yeah, I swear to God, that's what it says on the screen. So give us a call, or just shout out in the live chat, and we'll bring it up. I do think. Let's see, what was it? There was one other thing. It wasn't the. There was one other interesting piece of news, and it wasn't the challenges to voter suppression. But now I'm just. It's getting late, and now that I'm sleeping, the good news is I'm getting tired, which is unusual.
That is good.
Yeah. Oh, I have a couple of sleeping disorders, and when they really hit, it's like I will average 3 hours of sleep a night for months, and it's.
Yeah, I get there.
That's a problem. And it's like I can't remember.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
My condolences. You'll have to tell me how you handle it. It's a problem for the whole family. Like I'll have a conversation with my wife, and then later in the day I'll say, "Oh, there was something I wanted to tell you." I'll start to tell her, and it's like, "You already told me." I was like, "I really didn't." She goes, "Yeah, you really did." I was like, "When?" She goes, "Earlier this morning." It's like, "Oh," and then I'll start to remember I told a piece of it. I was like, "Oh, but I didn't finish." She goes, "No, you finished." It's like, "Are you sure? How's it finished?" She goes, tells me, it's like, "Oh my God," and I'll have no idea. And it's getting better. It's getting better. I had a sleep doctor try something revolutionary. No sleeping meds.
Thank you, President Sartre.
What?
Was the bit of news related to not experiencing too much schadenfreude over Rudy Giuliani having his law license suspended?
No, that's not news. There is no. It's fake news. There is no such thing as too much schadenfreude over Giuliani losing his license. There's no such thing. It's impossible. It is literally impossible to laugh at that too much.
So he lost his license, and he was informed, and he's like, "Well, I'm going to have my day. They're not going to take it from me without representing." And then later that day, there was an appearance at the defamation suit where Dominion's suing him for over $1 billion, and guess what? He didn't show up.
Well, I hadn't heard that first. I love that though.
Wait a minute.
He can't defend himself if he doesn't have I'm going to defend myself. You don't have a license. How are you going to? Oh.
He hired a guy. And that guy's entire statement at the defamation suit was, "It's just me." That was his entire statement.
Was his license suspended, or did he?
It's been suspended. Yes, it's been suspended pending a review.
And it probably won't survive the review. But so when you say lost it really depends on. I mean, he's lost it in the sense that it's at a minimum temporary loss, but he's lost it. He can't practice. Right. But it's not lost as in irrevocably, and he may get it back. So it's been suspended. I think that's a good. It's what we call nuance.
Yet.
It's what we call nuance. But since I'm on social media, what I'm going to do is just take the worst interpretation and start yelling at you. So, Porpoise, I said lost. Everybody knows what that means. He can't practice law, can he? Can he? I don't think so. What's your answer to that? Go ahead. What's your answer? Go ahead. It's your turn to talk.
That I don't need to care about journalistic integrity anymore.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. That was my alter ego, Darth Nick. I shouldn't have said that. Someone's going to meme that.
As long as not Darth Dawkins. Oh, sorry.
Well, since Christopher didn't show up, I guess I
feel a Cindy Lauper moment coming on here.
Yeah, I talk to him basically every day, so I will, and he'll be delighted to hear. Do what you want to do, but whatever is good for you, man. What do you want?
It's more of a question, but what do you get when you give Chairman Mao a cup of Earl Grey?
Uh-oh. A demonetized YouTube channel? Oh, God. I'm not going to tell him that one. I'm going to save that one for you to tell him. Oh. That's
the only reason I came on here tonight is because I wanted to tell him that, by the way. So.
Oh, thanks. We missed you.
It's really the only reason I'm here. So.
And so we did. You weren't able to make it. That was the night you took a break, but we were doing a show. It was going to be you, Mowdy, and I. It was How Can I Trust You, which I was a little iffy about because I was like, we talked about this earlier. I like Kyle, but I'm not sure I want to be on the same stream with him because I've got some objections. Now, Ethan has no morals. He'll be on stream with him. We'll work with him. We'll even sign contracts with him or whatever, as if that's going to mean anything. But nonetheless,
yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right. But anyway, so we did it. It ended up being, I thought, a pretty good show. I think if for me, I was still sort of like I got to talk to him afterward. It was just still the charming Kyle. And I get the impression he really doesn't like me, but I get that impression just from what I see him say, on other Discords. To me, he's always just, he's nice, he's joking, he's what can you do? But it was a decent show. I was just like, given the I had some reservations about that, and then you didn't show up. I was just like, where's my backup, man?
I'm sorry, man.
It's not like I still hold it against you or nothing. I got over it, Ethan. I really did, and it's some of us have moved on. We have, and then you just show up back in my life.
Oh, I'm
again.
sorry, I wasn't paying attention. what are you saying? I'm sorry.
Son of a.
I was looking at something else. I was reading.
Sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry. When I think about Ethan, I get Tourette's.
Well, Just start back at the beginning about that I didn't show up or something. What were you saying?
Okay, I'm back. Did I miss anything?
Yeah, the Mowdy just showed up. The shield came down.
You guys are still here?
The shield came down, and all of a sudden we lost. I don't know what happened. We lost Prolib. Yeah. I should not be allowed to control those. I will abuse. I will abuse my power. Absolutely.
You missed. Wow, I am having some really bad connection issues. I apologize. No, I'm having some really bad connection issues. I think it's Google Voice.
Yeah, Google Voice, because it's and you're going into a landline through Google Voice, and then it goes back to a computer. There's going to be some lag. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's by the way, Porpoise. Just because I wanted to remind you of the discussion we had earlier. That's Neil 604's fault. So
Yes.
just so we're all on the same page, and he admitted it's all his fault. So
that is correct.
He was good about that.
Well, he did say he was sorry.
He did. Try to get him to not say he's sorry. Oh. So okay. So what was your?
Did in time?
What, Jake? Was that?
Yeah. Did in time do anything about the Juneteenth holiday?
We did not. I wanted to. That ended up being a complicated day for any. We didn't. We that was a drop the ball moment. I think that was worth getting into, and we did not have the ability or the time. So, and I've been far more pressed than usual. But I'm, we're getting back into a regular schedule, so we're going to catch up on some of that. That would have been worth it, especially some of the comments that because Jake, you're on our Discord, which is a marvelous Discord. It's the best Discord, and if you're looking for a Discord to hang out on, you should come and hang out on the In Time Discord because it's it's a really great Discord. But yeah, so you saw all the now that I've shilled the Discord shamelessly. We had a lot of material on it. There was some stuff going on, but it was just something we weren't able to get to. So, what were you gonna say, Porpoise?
It's the Discord and all of Discord.
Speaking of Discord, in the technology section of his Discord, they're talking about rooting out traitorous communists.
Rooting out. Well, I saw the exorcism on the wood. But I did not see rooting out.
That was not in that.
That may have been in the religion.
That was not in
section.
your Discord.
Oh dear, did I get okay? I'm on too many Discords. I think there may have been a okay. So I did not see the. I could go look now. I didn't see the rooting out communists. Where?
It's in the technology section of your Discord.
Let's see. Okay, well, there's the
You post down below.
There's McAfee. I saw that one, but let's see. The whole McAfee thing was a bit of a shock.
That crazy old fucker died. I forgot about that.
Well, and now I guess there was a suicide note, but there are people saying, well, he was in police custody. Was it who the hell? But I didn't know he was that crazy. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, why? Oh yeah, he was nuts. I mean, he just did coke all day, and he was in his 70s. I'm not disparaging.
I understand they had to pay to remove him from the set.
That's not right. I'm not defaming him or he talked about the fact that he liked to do drugs and have sex with hookers and stuff. Like that was John McAfee. I don't know. He's a crazy old guy. But yeah, why would anyone kill him? Like, it's not an Epstein situation where he had dirt on people or anything. I mean, the dirt he had was on himself that he openly talked about. Like, he was just crazy.
Did Netanyahu finally leave the residence? I never followed up on that. Did Netanyahu finally leave the residence? Netanyahu boarded himself up in the residence. He's out of office. He's not going into work. Nobody's listening, but he's just sort of like, okay, you can't make me go. I don't know. That was like for a number of days, and okay. Now Titan's giving me a
Should I make Titan a mod on my Discord for consistency?
I think you should. I think if you don't, people are going to sit in there and wonder why there's a Discord he's not a mod on. It makes you look bad that he's not, quite frankly. It reflects you.
Titan is the
Titan will mod for anybody.
If Titan's not on it, it doesn't exist.
I'm sorry, what?
Titan is the solstice of Discord. If he's not on it and not a moderator, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Or so he'll mod for anybody. So it's like, no, I won't. Sinister won't mod for you. Really? Okay. Yeah. No, that was okay. I don't even. Chairman Mao drinks Folgers crystals. Oh dear Lord. Okay, so all right. Well, what I'm going to
there's a Mr. Perk in chat now.
Yeah, I was all I remember. Netanyahu. I thought that was going to be Trump. I thought the Secret Service was going to have to physically remove him. And despite the fact that really bugs me, that would be forever on the record, and that's just a shame on the office of the presidency. There was a part of me that really wanted to see that happen. I really wanted to see him just picked up and hoisted out of the White House,
kicking and screaming.
Yeah. I don't, and his people now who still think he's coming back, and they're like, oh, August, and this whole August conspiracy thing that's coming,
he'll be reinstated. Like, what is that? What are you talking about? How could you be reinstated? There's
I think we're witnessing the birth of a new religion. Because I think this is probably how Christianity started.
This is how Christianity, like 200 years from now, and there'll be a picture of a golden toilet, and there'll be people who wear golden toilets on their necklaces.
It'll be him on the ramp, like with his hand on the rail.
Oh yeah, on the escalator.
Yeah,
that is him ascending the Trump Tower. All hail! All praise be to Trump Tower. Hail Trump!
Or it'll just be a wall.
Yeah. oh my God. Yeah,
That's not even a joke. There are so many people calling him the savior and all. Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start to wrap this up. So, was there anything? Let's just. I want to make sure everyone gets a minute. So, is Andring? Any final thoughts before we bail?
I'm sorry, what? I wasn't paying any attention. I'm just taking up a line.
Great. Awesome. Thank you very much, caller. You are now muted.
Good question.
Jake, did you have anything you wanted to say?
I did have some questions about New England clam chowder, but perhaps that's best for this one.
Yeah. My wife is from New Mexico. I have had to protect her from other New Englanders when she said that she put green chili in her clam chowder. This is even funnier only because I'm only half joking. We had to ship clam chowder in when the Super Bowl was in New Orleans. We can't eat New Orleans clam chowder, and the Patriots were in New Orleans. They had to have trucks of legal seafood taking the clam chowder over to it. I was like, hon, just don't mention that you. No, it's funny. No, you're gonna that in Yankees. I mean, you don't talk about the Yankees in Boston. I think it's stupid. I think it's juvenile. I think it's horrible that you can get murdered for it, but you can get murdered for it. So don't talk about the Yankees in Boston. So thank you, Jake, for bringing that up. I do agree with you, Jake, that New England clam chowder is the best. It is still illegal to put tomatoes in clam chowder in New England. Just FYI, that's Manhattan clam chowder, and it's on the books. It's illegal. So,
when the show started, I was eating salmon, fish, and chips with a bread bowl of clam chowder. Today, I got the actual clam chowder rather than the salmon chowder, but that's what I've been eating during the show, and it is amazing. Hot fish and chips, especially if you haven't had fish in weeks, is the best meal.
I am a connoisseur of clam chowder. I love clam chowder. You can't tell I'm from New England in most ways. I don't have a Boston accent, yada, yada, yada. If clam chowder is on the menu, unless I'm in New Mexico or Texas, I'll order it. I love it. But all right, well, and then Porpoise, was there anything else that you wanted to say?
Pennsylvania Dutch food is still better than anything you're talking about.
I have had to
That's not for debate.
A disordinate number of callers today. I've never had 100%. I've gone as high as 90 with alarming frequency, but 100 is really rare. 100% of our callers just accidentally got disconnected from the stream. Don't know how that happened. Sorry. I'm just kidding, Porpoise.
There are
please finish.
There are some good episodes of Voyager, especially after they got the DS9 writers. After DS9 ended, there's a really great one with the Doctor, I think, called Critical Care.
Yeah,
Janeway was a war criminal because of what she did to the Borg, if I'm recalling that correctly. And Jake 4D is pointing out if you mute me, you mute everyone.
That's a good point. That's why I didn't actually mute her. It was an empty threat. Yeah, no, I'm aware. I'm aware. It's a Porpoise presents a number of unique modding problems. So yeah. All right. Well, Ethan. So I should have actually asked this at the top, but I asked you earlier. But I'm gonna tell you, there are people here who just want to know how you doing, what's going on in your life, how have the last few months been, and what are you looking at for the future here?
That's a long. I'm fine. And I'm getting better, and I'll do a stream. I'll do a whole goodbye stream. I don't know when yet, but I'll do it soon, and anyone can come in and ask whatever questions they want, and I'll schedule it. I'll schedule it sometime next week.
All right. I think everyone's gonna want to see that, but you are fine. And prospects for the future, how are they looking for you?
I have a lot of decisions to make over the next 2 weeks about some work stuff. So, I don't know yet. I don't know. There's some decisions I got to make.
All right. Well, I think I can speak for most of the people in the live chat tonight when I say there was a community that very much enjoyed having you around. We are so glad you're back for as long as you're going to stay, which I think has to be really about you, not about anyone else. Having said that, if you ever just don't show up again when I'm on a stream with Kyle, because all of us, I'm just... Okay, hold on. Therapist told me to just... where's my Xanax? I just need... okay, no, you know what? I'm okay. You do you, man. I mean, really, we're all happy for you that apparently you're leading your best life away from everybody. That's okay. I'm okay. No, really, it wasn't even funny enough to get a go. Okay, fine, fuck you. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Anytime. So we'll the Discord is open. I think we're gonna try to drop that link one more time. We do have a super chat here. Super chat, $5 super chat from Jake 4D announcing the fundraiser. Save Ethan. Donate to Prolib channel to and unfortunately, Ethan, that's the other thing you've missed. There have been a few fundraiser issues that blew up in the community. We can discuss that probably in private, but you missed some things. So frankly, I will tell you, probably better you did, because it's just more drama and it's more of the same. You didn't miss a thing. It's at what is it, as like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of YouTube. You didn't miss a thing. But at any rate, so what was I going to say? I think channel back and Ethan starting a weekly show. So thank you, Jake, for that. And we're very glad that I know you have been busy, so I'm really glad that you took the time to come over here. I appreciate it. I know that everyone on In Time appreciates it, and I know our audience was glad to see you, because we had a number of people coming in to say that. So love to chat with you a little later whenever you have time. I'm gonna
anytime.
Anytime. All right. So oh dear Lord, let me just figure out one quick, and that's. We're all good. So thank you all for joining us. We are going to, we're going to be starting a show with Neil 604 as a similar hang show to what we're doing now. It's going to be Friday nights. Neil's working it out with us, but we're looking forward to having him. Thank you all who called in. Thank you for the super chats. If you've lasted this long, hopefully you like the show. If you can hit that like and subscribe button, it really does help out the channel. Jake for the super chat, $2. Did I miss anything?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you all. Good night.